All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Podcast Juice Live. We are here. Sorry about the little wait there with technical stuff, but we are straight. My name is Michael Dean. Also joining me today is Mr. Q Storm. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm sitting here in my DC cubicle, quiet as it kept. I'm putting my resume together and shipping that over to Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next
Can
up.
Nero get a job on the Black Panther at least?
Was I'm cracking a joke. I need everybody. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what it just did? See, I like what it just did right there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if you guys see it, but it put our images at the bottom. Unless that's just me. But anyway, next up, Mr. Ampu. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, fellas. Doing good.
All right, so you guys know what we're here to do today. Marvel dropped a bomb on everybody, kind of disrupted things, and had a special event, and unleashed all of their movies coming up for the next 5 years. So we're gonna sit here and talk about them. 6 years.
Yeah, five.
All right, so let's go through. We're gonna go through all of them here and get you guys' comments on them. If you are watching us, you can certainly come to our page here, the events page, and leave us a question or a comment, and we'll read those on the air. So before we get into this rundown of the movies, you guys got anything you want to throw out there before we get started?
Different topics or just overall opinions?
You can say something or whatever it is.
Hey Q, do you have that video of the reaction of DC executives to Marvel?
Oh.
You need to put that up again.
All right. Yeah, it's apropos.
All right, so let's get this started. So let's see. The first movie, and we knew about this one, but of course everything is going to start here with Avengers: Age of Ultron. I'm gonna go over all of these here. So Ant-Man is coming July 17th, and I'm throwing this in here just for its and giggles. Fantastic Four, August the 7th. All right. So let's get to what we got coming up. So today they announced that May 6th, 2016 will be Captain America: Civil War. And this is going to feature, of course, Tony Stark is going to be there, Robert Downey Jr. They've also said that another Marvel character that we'll announce later is going to also appear in this movie. But just the initial thoughts from you guys. Captain America: Civil War. Q-Storm, what do you think about this?
As long as it's directed by the Russos, I am all on board with this. I had expressed some reservations about having Iron Man in the film. I don't know if that's still the case because to me, I want to see Cap and Falcon together again. And like I said before, if Robert Downey Jr. is a part of this movie, he's back there right now doing his Ed Norton imitation, rewriting the script, making sure he's got a lot of screen time. But you know what? It's all good. I just, I've seen enough of Robert Downey Jr. He's killed it as Iron Man. 4 times now. I want to see more Falcon, but hey, bring it on. If the Russos are directing and it's anything like Cap 2, I'm there. I'm already there.
All right. And Pooh, what do you think about this Civil War, Captain America?
I'm a little disappointed, as I'm just being honest. I'm not a big fan of the Civil War storyline, but that might be because of the fact that was a comic book company. They spread it out over 7 to 8 months. And it dragged a little, and maybe one film they'll get it right. And then again, it could just be Civil War in name only. Overall, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man is not a bad thing.
All right. Let's keep it moving. So November 4th, 2016, Doctor Strange. So that's the official date for that. Now, one thing they didn't announce was who's playing Doctor Strange. I think the rumors are Cumberbatch.
I thought that was confirmed. No.
No, they didn't announce it at this thing. They just said he was in negotiations with it, but.
Well, Deadline.com said that. Deadline.com put it out that Cumberbatch was the guy. He's been selected. Maybe there's a contract to be done. I was really hesitant to post or talk about it, but everybody else ran with it. But I think it's kind of telling that Cumberbatch wasn't there and that there wasn't even an announcement there. And I believe Feige, he mentioned that the role hasn't been cast yet.
Now,
So
what do you have a
still,
date on that? Because
Yeah,
I,
November 4th.
oh,
no, I mean a date of that statement you just made when Kevin Feige, Howard said that.
you said it today during the press event.
Well, that's good news because I'm not thrilled. I don't want Cumberbatch to be playing Doctor Strange.
Oh, why do you say that?
I just don't think he looks the part. I've been on Facebook on the comic forums all day talking about I want to see. I know this is never going to happen, but the guy from The Artist. I don't know if you saw that movie a couple years ago. It was a black and white silent film. The French guy who directed it and starred in it. I want to see him. I actually want to see Leonardo DiCaprio in the role.
Oh no! Oh no!
Why not?
No! No!
Why?
That he doesn't have that. That role, Leonardo DiCaprio is a specific type of actor. He can play the romantic comedy. He can play the romantic lead in a dramedy. He can play the
A dramedy? What are you talking about? He was in Shutter Island. He was in Inception.
If you had let me finish, sir.
Uh-oh. He
can play the heartthrob. He can do the action. He can do these thrillers, a psychological thriller. But a magical sci-fi fantasy, I think that's beyond his capabilities. And you know he's never been in any. Don't give me the side head. No. I believe that is beyond his capabilities. What in
Hold on, let me see if I got you right.
Right.
You just listed about 7 or 8 categories he could star in, but you said,
but 7, but okay.
Strange.
No,
I got you right?
If you try to tell me that Cumberbatch doesn't look like Doctor Strange, Leonardo DiCaprio damn sure don't look like him.
Well, unless Doctor Strange has a horse face, then he looks like Cumberbatch. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Well, I'll say this. I don't have anything against Cumberbatch. I don't know who I would see playing that role. I think that both of them are competent actors. I think they both could play the role. I don't know. I have no favorites personally. As much as I like DiCaprio, it would be hard for me to see him playing this role because I just kind of associate him with other sort of things for some reason. But I wouldn't be mad at it because I know he can act. He can act.
That's exactly. He can act. That's what I'm saying. I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch can act too. He can act.
I would rather see Johnny Depp than Leonardo DiCaprio.
Nah, man. That's who I do.
Thank you. Exact. Thank you. Yes.
Oh, I don't want Johnny Depp at all.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. That tells you how much I don't want DiCaprio.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. Well, so there's that. So we're still waiting for confirmation on who's playing Doctor Strange. Next up, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, May 5th, 2017. I'm all good for that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, works for me. I mean, honestly, I'm still settling from the first Guardians of the Galaxy. That's just so. I mean, it's kind of like it was so good the first time. I'm not even worried about that. We don't even have to discuss that. That's a no-brainer. If they can keep the quality of the first one, I'm not even thinking about Guardians of the Galaxy. There's much more on that roster that I'm more excited about.
All right. What about you, Ant?
You said that you're more excited about?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hyped for that movie, and the question I want to know is, is that the debut of Captain Marvel?
Good question. All right, let's move forward.
Wait. One other thing I wanted to point out is I think I discussed this over the weekend as far as Marvel keeping the cosmic and the Marvel Earthbound, I guess, worlds separate, and that it was possible for them to do a certain Infinity story. I guess we're not getting it, and I guess now I'm really trying to figure out what exactly is this next Guardians of the Galaxy movie going to be, because my thought was going to be it was going to give us Thanos in full, as they would say, first full appearance in a comic book. I hope y'all remember that term, as well as him acquiring all the other 6 gems. But since things look totally different, I'm wondering, okay, well, what is Guardians of the Galaxy 2 going to be?
All right, all right. Next up is now here to help me with this Thor Roanoke, if I'm saying
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. Let me say this, and this is coming out July 28th, 2017. They might want to rethink the title because I can see the average person like, what the hell? What is how you say it? It's just
Well,
gonna
if
sound
you're if
cool.
you're a if you, I mean, I'm not casual. I don't really read Thor, and I know what. I think people know what Ragnarok is, don't they?
I'm
No,
not a casual reader and I don't know what it is.
I've heard that name. I thought it was
It's
something
like
else.
it's the Norse. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Norse version of Armageddon.
Right, right. I learned that today. So,
Yeah, me too, right? He said that at the press conference. Well, I will say this. I know Kevin Feige, he said that this movie is going to be pivotal in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah,
Uh,
whatever.
so that's interesting. He was kind
Okay.
of,
hey, he delivered on Cap too, so
yeah.
he said that was going to change things, and it did.
I just don't see anything pivotal happening in Thor's universe, in Thor's uh, part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And
Touche.
not after Thor 2. After
Well,
Thor 2, nah.
well, you got to remember, I believe that Odin or whoever is Odin now, doesn't he have the Infinity Gauntlet in the
N-
movies?
Uh,
No, I think they messed up their timeline because, or unless I need to go back, because they showed the, I guess what would you call it, the chalice? I don't know if they showed the gems though. They showed the
He didn't have
chalice
the
that,
gems, but he had. Well, I'm sorry, he had the thing, the glove thing.
yeah,
So
the glove, there you go, the
how
glove.
Gauntlet, you mean. Gauntlet.
the gauntlet. So maybe
Yeah, the
Thanos
gauntlet.
comes in this movie and takes it or something. I mean, obviously this movie goes right into Avengers 2 or Avengers 3. So something happens in that movie. I would imagine it does say everybody's got to unite for this next one. But I don't know.
See, that's to me. That becomes uninteresting off the bat to think that this movie is just going to be a bridge to something else bigger in another film. I mean, they want to stay away from doing that. Oh, this is going to be a pivotal event in this film. There's no other reason to see it, just so you can see that event, so you can see the next film. It's like the all the tie crossovers and everything.
What was
Well,
it? Captain America: Winter Soldier, a pivotal event in the Marvel universe? And sort of changes going forward. There's no
Right? No, right. But you're talking about the disbanding of Shield, right?
right.
Right, but when you say okay, maybe I'm being picky here, but when you talk about this is going to be a pivotal event, and then you start talking about how this links to that film, it's like, well,
Well,
it
it
kind of
must. I mean, I'm just saying in terms of what comes next. There's only one other movie, and I know that movie may not be as pivotal to the wider. I know it might be, but obviously these movies do play into each other. And we so
yeah,
far they.
well,
I'm not feeling Thor anymore after Thor 2. I'm just not.
I can feel you on that, but
well,
they might pull a Captain like they may make that movie so dope that you might be like, God damn, actually it was pretty
oh, they
dope.
had two shots and they ain't did it yet. But but the thing about this one that might help it is the fact that it will be 2 years after Avengers, and well, okay, let me take that back. Because I was gonna say it's 2 years after Avengers, but we get a Captain America in between it. But after Captain America, you get Doctor Strange and Guardians of the Galaxy, which on the surface doesn't look like it's continuing the Avengers storyline. So maybe Thor picks up from the events of the Avengers and Captain America Civil War. So you might get a little extra on that Q. Might.
like, like you said, they haven't gotten Thor right in the first. I mean, the first one was okay. The second one was horrible. So don't
All
worry.
right, let's move on. Let's move on. Maybe the next one will give us hope. So all right, November the 3rd, 2017, brothers and sisters, we're gonna have Black Panther. Chad,
Wow.
what's his name? Chad Boseman.
Chadwick.
Chadwick Boseman. I think we even talked about this.
I think he was named after a street. I ain't gonna
Give It
lie.
Up came out, but now we have the Black Panther. Incidentally, Black Panther is also going to be in Civil War. And if looking at the trailers for Avengers 2, you can kind of see where they threw the Easter egg to sort of suggest that maybe there will be some foreshadowing of Black Panther, Wakanda. So, Black Panther has been long talked about. Ampu, what do you think?
Two things before I get into Black Panther. One, all you motherfuckers that's been spiking the football for DC, shut the fuck up now. Shut
Wow.
it up. Yeah, I'm tired of that. Second of all,
Okay.
let's see. You got Cyborg and you got Black Panther. Which one is more meaningful? This is
Totally different things. That have just because they're black, they have nothing to do with each other.
you're right about that. You're right about that. But yeah, this has been ever since Blade and Wesley Snipes been wanting to play Black Panther. People have been hyped for this film. But they have been.
No, I'm not laughing at you.
Laughing at me, what I was doing. Go ahead.
Minstrelsy.
I'm not that familiar with the character outside of his tenure in the Avengers. So,
Black Panther?
Yeah. I mean, I know it's Avengers stories, him being in the Avengers, the stuff that he did with the Fantastic Four. But as far as him in Wakanda, that's totally lost on me. But
Okay.
I think he's a good pick. And hey, they got something there they can do something with. They got a lot of stuff there. Now, the other people online, stop mentioning Storm. It ain't gonna happen. Just like Fetch and Mean Girls, Storm in a Marvel universe until they get the license back from Fox is not happening.
All right. Q Storm, Black Panther, Wakanda. You ready?
Of course I am. And what's funny is when I first saw Get On Up, I was all hyped for Chadwick Boseman to play him. And it's still good. It's just since we haven't heard anything. What's up now?
You see this?
I'm not mad at him, but a lot of since we did not know whether we were going to get a Black Panther, a lot of other options came up. I'm like, oh, he'd be interesting, or he'd be interesting too. But it's all good. I mean, Chadwick Boseman did his thing, so I'm excited for it. Did you just give me the finger?
No, I was scratching my nose.
Okay. I just hope the licensing is on point too, because I want my son to have a Black Panther doll, action figure. Sorry, let me clean that up.
What's wrong with it, man? What's wrong with a boy playing with a doll?
What?
2014, Q. It's 2014.
Let's lay off each other's kids now.
Yeah, my man.
I did not go with his kid. That's just talking about how apparently it's 2014 and boys and girls' gender roles have changed. That there's nothing wrong with little boys playing with dolls. That's what I was talking about.
Okay, I got that. We're good. Okay. And I want my action figure too. I want my doll too. So
I'm right there with you, man.
I hope the licensing is on point with this too.
Yeah,
I hope they don't just give us some McDonald's soft drink cups and shit like that.
Nah, it's gonna be Popeyes.
Popeyes? I was gonna say Cuervo.
Well, I think Marvel, like all of these characters, they're sitting on a cash cow. This one even is maybe an added benefit because, again, for people like us, this is like, man, we've been waiting for something else to sort of rally behind. So I think this would be a great thing. I know my son, who is familiar with the character from the cartoon with Black Panther, but I'm sure this would be something that he would just eat this up if he saw this movie and, he could identify with it. So I'm looking forward to it. And they seem to really be hyped about it. You saw the presentation, and everyone cheered pretty loud, and they even brought out Chadwick out there with Robert Downey and the Captain America dude. So I'm like, make this happen. And they even released something early from Marvel. They released what he's going to look like in a costume, or at least a concept art. Yeah, they put out a concept art during the event. So.
Wow.
Very exciting.
I'm curious to know who's going to play T'Chaka. That's the father, right?
Right.
That would be interesting.
Hey. Kind of like a little.
Oh, you know who I want to see play that? Oh, I know who would be excellent for that.
Who?
Get your man John Amos. John Amos. What? What?
I mean, he might be able to. There's a lot historical from that because you played Kunta and he played the King of Zamunda. So
why wouldn't you want John Amos? What's wrong with John Amos?
I mean, yeah, I'd rather they do like a Denzel or.
Please, that's so easy. Why everybody?
Well, yeah, because he's dope.
Ampu, Wonder Woman director, Catherine Bigelow. Catherern Bigelow.
Denzel is easy because he's.
Okay, can you name another female director?
Penny Marshall.
What the hell is Penny Marshall doing?
Sophia Coppola.
Oh wow.
No, she can't do that either. That's why I didn't name her. What has she done since her daddy got her an Oscar?
All right, damn. I'm just joking. I'm just saying we could go to IMDb or Wikipedia, Google female directors. More people are gonna come on Catherine Bigelow. Okay, but we diverge.
Speaking of
director right now.
Yeah, speaking of directors though, for Black Panther, Kevin Feige did mention he's about to go meet with Reginald Hudlin.
Oh no.
Well, here's the thing. Reginald Hudlin, wrote the comic book for a while, Black Panther. Obviously, he's directed stuff.
Does not make him a good director.
Hey, you know what? You know what else? He ran BET for 2 years. How'd that work out for him?
Get me Ernest Dickerson.
BET, I imagine.
Get me Ernest Dickerson, who directed some of the best episodes of Walking Dead today.
I would salute you to that too. I'm just saying this is what Kevin Feige, the guy in charge of Marvel, has said. He said that today. So.
Well, he's fucking up already.
Now
don't try to pull my geek card. Is Ernest Dickerson black?
Oh
boy,
dude, you're not getting your geek card pulled. You're getting your race car pulled.
I heard of Ernest Dickerson. Okay.
He directed all of Spike Lee. He directed all of Spike Lee's seminal work, bro.
He didn't direct.
He DP. He was a cinematographer on all of.
He DP'd.
You stupid. I already know where you're going.
See?
That's why our people can't make it.
Ratchet. That's the director of photography.
Yeah, he directed Juice. I think that was his first movie. He's directed many episodes of Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. He's done other TV shows. I can't think of them, but
a lot. Yeah, he's good. That would be a dope choice, actually. I can see that.
Or I would take, as long as he's corralled, I would take John Singleton.
Ooh, no.
Why not?
Interesting. If we get Rosewood, John Singleton, and not Too Fast, Too Furious, and Four Brothers, yeah. Rosewood was really good.
Okay, and then here's the Catherine Bigelow equivalent. You would get the guys. Was it?
We'll say Tyler Perry.
Who did? No, hell no. Equalizer. Fuqua.
He would be.
Or the brothers. Who are the twins that did Dead President?
Yes. Albert Hughes and those guys.
Yeah, the Hughes brothers, yeah.
They would be filthy too. Actually, I could really see them doing it.
I like Fuqua.
Or they could just go off the books and go Spike Lee.
No. I don't want to see Black Panther floating in the air with the camera like he does. I don't want to see that shot. I'd have to hurt Spike.
I only say that because, though it wasn't necessarily a good movie, what is that last movie he just did?
Bak.
What?
Bak.
Bak?
What was the Asian remake? I can't think of what it's called.
Oh, Old Boy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, there was some tight action part in Obak. I mean, not Obak, but me all tripping. But there was some pretty interesting stuff that he did in that movie, action-wise, that I didn't know he could do. So I don't know.
I gotta see Sweet Blood of Jesus first. Sweet Blood? What was that movie?
The Blood of Jesus.
Yeah, that's taking a long time to come out. I don't know what that means, but
Well, it's a Kickstarter too, so well, let's move on. We getting geeked out. We're going crazy. All right, we still got more movies to go through. All right, the next movie after Black Panther is another headbuster, Avengers: Infinity War Part 1. It's May 4th of 2018. So this obviously is a mixture of the Avengers. We're going into the cosmic realm. I would imagine they're going to team up with the Guardians. It's Thanos. They even showed a trailer for this or a teaser.
Man, come on now.
So go ahead.
That'd be a $2 billion budget film teaming up. The Avengers team up with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Why would it be $2 billion?
I'm just using the example.
Wait. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy ain't costing that much. Those people are not costing that much money yet.
They are now. They're
already locked into stuff.
Okay, first of all, this is Marvel Studios. This is Disney and Marvel Studios. You don't think they locked them up at a slightly increasing multi-picture deal?
And you don't think their lawyers are like, yo, we were planning for this. This is what's going to happen right now.
Well, they got contracts, so they're going to break this. They're going to break the contract and be black out the industry?
You don't think people have ever broken contracts before?
You don't think
they got no clout yet? I mean, they ain't nobody.
Let's go through who is actually.
That would mean that the chick from the movie, she would be like, "I'm in Avatar. You gotta pay me $17 million or something crazy."
Which chick was it?
Zoe Saldana. Who of those five? Who is really needed to return? Oh, The only one that might be really needed to return is Chris Pratt. Bradley Cooper's replaceable. Vin Diesel is just a damn voice. Dave Bautista, bless his heart. I remember him from WWE, but goddamn it, there's a million of those out there to replace him. Zoe Saldana, she's sexy as fuck, but we can find somebody else to get up in that.
Huh?
Zoe Saldana is not sexy.
Okay, moving on.
My bad, I forgot who I'm talking to. This is cute. No woman is fine.
Yeah, okay. You haven't seen my list, apparently.
You're right, I haven't.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
But yeah,
I mean, if you like geckos, I guess she's sexy.
Oh wow.
Stay on target.
Hey Zoe, that was cute.
All right.
I don't think it's that expensive. The Guardians of the Galaxy cast, they probably at most cost $40 million collectively, and that might even be too high for Vin and Bradley Cooper because they're not in front of the cameras, especially Vin. And I don't know what type of profit sharing they got with the Avengers, but my thing is, and I don't know, I don't have any inside information. I don't think Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in part 1. I think they're going to be in part 2. They'll show up there, because at the end of part 1, I forgot the name of the spaceship, whatever. Q, I know you already got your mind made up to fire at me. It's going to arrive on Earth, and out comes the Guardians of the Galaxy, and we get that woo moment and end scene.
But I mean, here's my question. Why would you break up? You're saying Avengers is going to be the Infinity War? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, part 1.
Part 1. I mean, so does that mean that Downey is going to come back again?
We don't know.
Yeah, they're saying.
To be honest, we have no idea.
Yeah. I think the amount of money they can make for the Avengers on the same film as Guardians of the Galaxy, they could easily break the box office.
Well,
so they might bring them back.
You could take my geek card right now. I just didn't find that Infinity storyline that interesting.
Infinity Gauntlet?
Yes.
All right.
I actually don't. Well, the Infinity Gauntlet, the original story, I thought was cool, but I would probably like it better on the screen than I did in the book, because a lot of it was just over my head to a little bit. But I'd be interested to see all these guys together on screen and it get crazy. But we're going to keep it moving. What's next? So next up would be another new character, Captain Marvel. This is July 6, 2018. This would be Marvel's, it wouldn't be their first, but of this new generation movies, it would be their first female-led movie. And what do you think about this?
I'm not a big Captain Marvel fan. I'm not a big To me, there's only 3 things Miss Marvel is known for. That outfit, giving birth to her lover, and getting her power stolen from Rogue. I mean, yeah, why you got your... I can see you, Q, you know that.
No, I don't know anything about the character, so you're schooling me. I'm like, really? That's what happened to the character? I don't know. I'm with you. I don't know. I know very little about this character, and I'm very uninterested in this character. I'll still go see it because it's a person in a costume, but other than that, I'll be going in with no knowledge, very little interest in the character.
There's actually 2 theories, if y'all want to hear it, about Captain Marvel. One of which is that Skye, which was revealed on last week's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., when they gave her that Kree blood, Agent Coulson started writing up all those things. I don't know if y'all have seen it, right? Apparently, it hasn't affected Skye, and Coulson has deduced that that's because she might already have Kree blood in her. And people are, and shout out to my boy Casual Jody. He thinks that Skye is going to become Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, she's half Kree, which allowed her to get these powers.
But they've already established who her father is. Now, does that tie into the comics at all?
Well, and then there's the other theory that that Skye's father is an Inhuman.
Is a what?
An Inhuman.
Okay.
Well, let me just the whole theory about Skye being Captain Marvel in a movie. Even though I don't know much of the character, I can't see that happening at all.
The only reason I can't see it happen is because there isn't that much love for her. Like, there's more love for May than there is for Skye, as far as fan adulation. And you can't build a film around a lukewarm character.
You know who
But
I
now,
would play that character? What's the movie with Tom Cruise? Edge of Tomorrow? Is that what it's called?
yeah.
That chick.
No,
That one chick,
no.
I would get her,
Emily
man.
Blunt?
He was badass, man.
No.
What's
Yeah.
wrong with her? I mean, I'm not gonna fight for her, but I'm curious why you hate her so much.
It's not that I hate her. I just Captain Marvel. I'm just not feeling that. They said Emma Stone too.
No, 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 no.
Some people said Charlize Theron. I don't know.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm
But
going
now, Captain Marvel, the Captain Marvel I'm familiar with is the guy with the blonde '70s feathered haircut and the blue mask and the red and blue costume, right? Now it's a woman. Was it a woman before? I mean, he was been gone for a long time, and it's a woman, right?
right.
But she has a new costume now, kind of
She was previously Miss Marvel in that black onesie. That's what I like to
with the
call it.
red
With the
scarf
red.
around her waist.
Yeah, yeah. That AKA the best cosplay at Comic-Con every year.
Oh God. Okay.
All right. We got a couple more. So after this, another unknown sort of movie, Inhumans, November 2nd in 2018. And personally, so the last two, Captain America and Inhumans, I look at them almost like I look at Guardians of the Galaxy before I saw that movie. I don't really know much about it, so I'm very curious to see what Marvel does. It's interesting to me that they're going to go with two unknown sort of properties back to back. So I'm curious to see what they do. I like that they're doing something I don't know, but this is being interesting. What do you think?
I think the Inhumans. I mean, listen. Before you had Guardians of the Galaxy, I would have said, and I didn't know anything about them. I know a little bit about the Inhumans, and I'm going to say that could look really bad on screen. I mean, that could look silly as hell on screen. What's Gorgon with the cow hoof and Karnak the corny karate moves, and Black Bolt, I like him. He's badass, but the rest of them, Medusa, she's alright. But
like that dog or something?
Hey Q, I was just about to point that out.
What's that?
Lockjaw will be shut up. Lockjaw will be the 2018 version of Rocket Raccoon and Groot. You heard it here first.
He doesn't talk though.
Hey, toys. That's what I'm talking about.
I wonder now. See now, if we're doing the Inhumans, there should be a time with the Fantastic Four because Johnny, Storm, and Crystal were an item.
Don't mention that. Fox probably hasn't figured that out yet.
Oh, okay.
All right.
But Crystal ended up marrying Quicksilver in the books.
Yeah. But they got introduced to the Fantastic Four. I don't know how Marvel got around that loophole, but they're beating Fox to the punch. But if you want to get up on the Inhumans, the two best stories I've read was The Heroes Reborn, Fantastic Four. They did a really good. That was one of the things that Jim Lee did well, and Ultimate Fantastic Four. They did a really good storyline.
Okay.
And of course the classic stuff, but more recent.
All right, so the last movie on the list is Avengers Infinity War Part 2, and this brings us to May the 3rd, 2019.
Wow.
So kind of like splitting up their movies, kind of like DC with the Justice League Part 1, Part 2 type of thing. That's kind of when I first heard that, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
I might have to go to the theaters in a walker by the time we get done with this.
Dude, it's only 5 years away. Come on, man.
I wonder. Now, I find it interesting. There's no She-Hulk talk. She-Hulk doesn't get any shine.
Why do you find it interesting?
Because she's a popular character, isn't she? And she used to be an agent. Didn't she used to be a SHIELD agent for a little bit?
I'm not the character.
There's a tie there.
She's a former Avenger, so you have that.
Well, there's one movie that they didn't announce, which to me is interesting. No Iron Man.
What's that tell you?
Did you do want too much?
Downey's like, damn that contract, like y'all was saying. Damn, let me talk to my lawyer one more time, see if I can get out this.
But you see what they doing? It's like, okay, you got Avengers 2, you got Captain America, and you got this Infinity War Part 1 and 2, which I guess they're going to pay him like, no, that's one movie we're breaking up. Q, you probably know better. You know better than any of us here. How is SAG allowing these Part 1 and Part 2, so they're only paying the actors for one film that's broken out, that's getting 2 releases?
Well, I guess my question is, how do we know they're only paying them for one film?
What other reason would there be to break it up into 2 films? And you have to look at
money. What are you talking about?
And the other thing, then why wouldn't it be? Okay, so why wouldn't
that means I'm going to give you my money twice for 2 films as opposed to for 1 film?
Okay, so why isn't it Avengers Infinity Gauntlet and Avengers Infinity War? Why is it Part 1 and Part 2? So
because they feel like you're going to want to come back to see the second part of that same story. It's going to be, I assume it'll be a cliffhanger.
I'm sure, and you can quote me on this, that this is supposed, just like Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 is really one film, but it's alleged it was too long, so we broke it in parts. It's the same thing. It's the same thing they did with Breaking Bad, the final seasons of Breaking Bad and Mad Men. We only want to pay for 1 season, but in order to get more money, we'll do it over 2 years.
You may have a point. I guess I'm saying I don't know for a fact that they're only getting paid for 1 film. I can't imagine in the inner workings of Hollywood that their lawyers did not say, no, you're not. That's not going to work. You can't. You're getting 6 months of work as opposed to 3 months of work. So I don't think that's the case. You got to show me proof.
Or maybe it's 4.5 or 5 months because they're doing it right into each other. Remember, it's Part 1 and Part 2, so theoretically it's 1 film.
No, it's 2 films. 2 release dates, 2 films.
And we have no idea if he's even in the movie, right?
That too. The other thing is, besides Iron Man, no Hulk movie.
Yeah.
No Hulk. The Incredible Hulk. I'm baffled at that.
See, I'm not mad at that either. I'm not mad at that. The Hulk is a boring character for the film. When he's playing off of the Avengers, he's all good. But I don't need to see a whole film of the guy grunting and.
Okay, there are 3 good stories they could do. They could do. There was a Rick Jones. He did Bruce Jones. He did a story. He did a long run, very good, of Bruce Banner on the run as a fugitive and all these conspiracy theories. I really loved it. Then there's Planet Hawk and there's World War Hawk. So you saying he's a boring character? They have stories they can draw from.
Well, they got to get.
We're gonna play into the whole Planet Hulk thing. Like maybe he goes crazy or something, and they just ship him out of here. And let him somehow get locked up with the cosmic part, and then they got to bring him back, and it's the Infinity War or something. But
the only problem is Mark. Well, I guess there's 2 problems with that. One is Mark Ruffalo. He's not a young man. He's in his mid 40s. So by 2020, when they decide to start filming it, he may be pushing 50. Yeah, he's 46 years old.
Yeah,
I guess the important thing is how the Hulk looking, not him, but still. The other thing is that with World War Hawk and Planet Hawk is, unfortunately, it's Hawk's story. Unless they decide to make some change, it's all Hawk. So that's a lot of CGI.
Right. Well, let me ask you guys this. So we went through the whole lineup of the Marvel movies. I wanted to get you guys' kind of final thoughts of what you thought about this. One thing I wanted to throw out there is I could see, going back to the Civil War storyline here with Captain America, Iron Man, and just the positioning of how they kind of threw Black Panther into this even today. I wouldn't be surprised if they have the Black Panther sort of playing the Spider-Man sort of role in terms of, because even they asked him on the stage today, kind of joking, like, which side you going to choose, between the 2 of them. I wouldn't be surprised if he is has a sort of a pivotal sort of a part in this, and then that continues on to the rest of the films. What do you guys think?
That's actually brilliant, and it's kind of a big middle finger to Sony for not playing ball. It's like, well, fuck you, we don't need you. We got our own Black Spider-Man.
But see, okay. Well, I'm thinking. I keep thinking of the rivalry between Marvel and DC and how Marvel could fashion the Black Panther to be their version of Batman, but that's irrelevant. I mean, to me, if DC, if they're smart, they will keep their mouths shut and just do what they're gonna do. Because every time they announce something, Marvel's like, "Oh, really? Oh, well, I'm just gonna leave this right here for y'all, okay?" DC needs to just work in secret because they get every time they announce something, they get their asses handed back to them by Marvel. This is incredible. I mean, how many films is that are coming out now?
8 plus the 2 next year. So
and what did DC? What's DC got? Wow, that's
they have 8 too.
It's about 8 or more, yeah. And plus, again, they didn't drop their 2 biggest guns. You know, they left that Batman and Superman off the table. I'm sure they're holding that for when they really want to shoot their little.
I mean, but which one?
11, 9 announced and 2 unannounced Batman and Superman. So 11.
Well, which one do you have more confidence in that they're going to get it right?
You mean DC, or are you talking about DC versus Marvel?
DC versus Marvel.
Well, Marvel, yeah.
Right. Exactly. So I don't know how DC can handle this. You know.
Well, you know, I think it's like this. I like what they did today. I think it's great. As a consumer, I'm glad that there's some competition because I know at one hand, when DC put theirs out, again, that sort of makes Marvel say, we got to step up and really show them how to do this. So it's just they have to keep one-upping each other. I think it's great. It's going to really all come down to when the movies start being released. The only thing I say about Marvel is their track record, for the most part, I don't like all the movies, but for the most part, the good movies are dope. So as long as they can maintain the quality of like Captain America, Winter Soldier, Guardians, and to me the Avengers. I didn't care for the Thors. I didn't care for the first Captain America. I didn't really like the Iron Man movies that much. But if they can keep the quality up, I hope they nail Black Panther. If they fall on their face with the Inhumans or Captain Marvel, I won't be mad at them because, I mean, how many movies can you do that are always going to be super successful? But they've laid the groundwork, and as long as they pull back on some of these movies they announce, if something doesn't work, then it's all good, you know. But I think DC's in the same. I think DC may have less to lose because all they've had is one movie of these new movies, so they can just shoot for the ballpark and I guess see what happens.
But
go ahead.
Do you think with DC they had their little they got their little slate going too, right? Mm-hmm. Marvel's they just dropped this bombshell today. Do you think this renders Fox? I guess that last X-Men movie did okay, but Sony in particular with that Amazing Spider-Man 2, does this render them like the laughing stock or the just obsolete or irrelevant?
Well, I think they hold Spider-Man, so at the end of the day, if they can,
they don't know what to do with Spider-Man. They keep fucking right. Spider-Man up.
But they hold the crown jewel. Now, if they can get somebody in there to do it dope, they would kill it. Because everybody.
I could see Sony saying, if they had sense, they'd say, you know what, let's partner with doing something right. You know, no one other than Spider-Man 2, no one has said how overwhelmingly dope any of the Spider-Man movies are. So it seemed like they would go to Marvel and say,
Spider-Man 1 was dope too.
What was that now?
Spider-Man 1 was good too. Don't say
did you see what the Green Goblin looked like? That's first.
It was a good movie. I liked it.
I was like, really? Mad? Like, come on. That's next you know, you mad about the organic web shooters too?
Hated that. I didn't like it, but I accepted it.
Well,
Spider-Man did not have organic web shooters.
Who cares? Superman didn't fly either.
What? What are you talking about?
Superman, when he was first introduced, didn't fly. So
we're not talking about when he first introduced. What are you? Okay.
Well, here's the thing. So go back to your point though about Sony, Fox. At the end of the day, I think that both of them, even if their movies aren't on the caliber level as Marvel's, they still tend to win because as long as all those movies are good, people still want to see other superhero movies. And to be clear, Spider-Man 2, even the first one, they may not have been critically acclaimed, but they made money for themselves. I mean, they weren't flops. So they're going to keep pumping them out. I mean, they still are saying they're going to do the Sinister Six, even though I may think that's crazy, but they make money with these movies whether we sort of like them or not. So I don't see why it would stop.
Superman Returns made money. You see what happened with
And they got more Superman movies coming.
Yeah,
I'm saying
they had to
good,
revamp and
they still-
retool the whole thing and wait 6 years.
right, and they didn't waste any time revamping Spider-Man. That's what I said. They're still pushing forward. They even rebooted it up. Still
Hey, Mike.
successful.
I'm sorry, real quick. Do you have another link for this Google Hangout? Because apparently I'm posting the wrong one. People can't see it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. All right, so we're gonna do that. Also, and shout out to people that's watching. I can see you guys watching there. If you got any questions, comments, please leave us questions on the events page, and we'll read them on the show. I'll get you guys that link. I wanted to go over the slate of movies in general and see what you guys thought. Is it because there's so many movies, man? I almost wonder if it's going to be too much.
And far be it from me to correct our esteemed host Michael Dean, but Spider-Man is not the crown jewel. He is not the crown
You
jewel.
don't think Spider-Man, the character, is a crown jewel for Marvel? Of their characters?
Of the characters they don't have, the crown jewel is
I'm saying-
Wolverine.
I'm saying of the characters in general of Marvel.
You
Who's
said
the biggest hero for Marvel?
right now? Wolverine?
No,
Well, actually, you said again what?
in general.
In general, yeah, it's Spider-Man. But as a film property, it's Wolverine.
I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying Spider-Man is always going to be a big deal because he's the biggest superhero they got. He may not have the best movies right now, but everything you see with every time you see Marvel, you're gonna see Spider-Man. I guarantee you. Anything that they do, he's always on there. He's never interchangeable. You don't never see him be interchangeable with nobody else. He'll be Spider-Man in the Avengers or Spider-Man, but there's always gonna be Spider-Man. Wolverine dead right now.
I swear to God, the way Mike is talking, you would think he had a pulpit underneath there.
Did you get that?
Preaching about Spider-Man. Wow, go ahead, man.
Well, let's go over this list real quick. Pull it up. There's a lot of movies. It's crazy. All right, so I'm going to start at 2016 and see what you guys think. February 12th, Deadpool.
Well, what is this list now?
This is superhero movies in general that are all coming out.
Oh, Deadpool's coming out. Okay.
Yep, so February 26th, Deadpool. March 25th, Batman vs. Superman.
This is next year, right?
2016. So
Okay.
next year there's only 3 movies I think slated. Yeah, actually, there's 3 movies: Avengers: Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, and Fantastic Four.
I don't think that Fantastic Four will ever see the light of day.
I don't either.
Of course it will. Why would they not put the movie out?
Look, dude, I'm just saying. Marvel, they didn't announce stuff and giving us a teaser trailer for stuff that ain't gonna happen till 2019. We have seen, like I said on Saturday, we have yet to see a speck of evidence that this Fantastic Four movie has even been made.
There's
Well,
one.
you saw cardboard cut out of the thing.
There you go.
Okay. That don't mean okay. Even with that still doesn't mean this movie has been made.
And then you saw some whack ass costume of Dr. Doom.
I
wasn't
didn't see
convincing.
that.
Okay. All right. Let's get through the list. So Deadpool, Batman vs. Superman, May 6th, Captain America: Civil War, May 27th. I'm all ready to see this, X-Men: Apocalypse.
What? Okay.
Yeah, so that's 4 so far. August the 5th, Suicide Squad. November 4th, Doctor Strange. And then tentatively November 11th, Sinister Six. And I believe the other big bomb movie of that year, Star Wars is next year, my bad. So that's 2007. So that's what? 1, 2, 3,
17.
4, 5, 6, 7 comic book movies. 2016, excuse me. Is that too much? Are you guys ready to see all of those? What do you think?
Well, what's the most we've had in one year thus far? 3?
I think it's this year.
4. Well, again, if you count, then there are movies like Sin City, which I guess you could say are comic book movies.
I'm talking about cape and costume.
Yeah, I think maybe
Oh,
3.
look at you getting all comic superhero sedity.
So,
Sin City doesn't count. Neither does
Okay.
Watchmen.
All you fake Miller fans, that was Q Storm.
all right, so there's that's 2006. Let's go to 2016. Let's go to 2007.
Hold on, I wanted to mention something about Star Wars.
Go ahead.
The other person, besides Zack Snyder and David Goyer sweating their asses off hearing about this, the other person and production company that is sweating is J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot.
Nope.
Because hold up, because Disney pretty much they put out Marvel, they put out a slate from here to 2019. I'm gonna go ahead and bank that those movies will do $500 million worldwide minimum. They don't need Star Wars to be a success and be in the black. So if they don't, because they got all this money coming. Yeah, you go ahead and make that face. They don't need Star Wars. They got the television properties, they got DVDs, they got toys. The film being a hit is not going to affect their bottom line. So if J.J. Abrams fuck up Star Wars, Star Wars, they're gonna be like, okay, sit your ass at the far end of the bench to take a phrase from Q. We gonna wait to get this shit right because Marvel's gonna bring us a shitload of money.
He might. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because they can if he fuck up, they can be like, okay, you're off. We gonna take our time, get this shit right. We gonna do it the Marvel way.
The problem is, fucking up on a Star Wars movie is still making money though, because like I feel like the last three films were fuck ups.
Right.
And they still made a lot of money.
That's okay. Man of Steel was a fuck up. They still made.
Yeah, that's debatable. That's debatable.
Let's keep it 100. It's Star Wars. I don't care what Marvel's doing, and I tip my hat. They're running the game for superhero movies. It's a part of Disney. They're all in the same company. They're all playing the same game. They're not going to ever put the Star Wars movie to get in the place of the Marvel movies, and they ain't going to ever put the Marvel movie to get in the place of the Star Wars. They got 2 super cash cows. Star Wars is just beginning. They have said they are going to put Star Wars movies out every year.
Hold up.
So they ain't tripping. But let me say this. The movie is going to be huge. You notice that DC hasn't even started no type of nothing for that movie because they know once they pull the trigger on that, it's going down. Fandom is going to be all over it. Whether we think that we're going to argue if we think it's going to be good, we don't know what's coming. But I'm just telling you now, when the trailer drops, when we start to see what's popping, and you see that first shot of Luke and Han and Leia, it's a wrap, man.
I'm not denying any of that. All I'm saying is J.J. Abrams is sweating because
he's
fucked up. He's sweating. He fucked that up. They
would have pulled him even when they saw the dailies if they thought he was fucking it up. They ain't letting that happen. There's too much riding and too much money. You sit there and watch to see that it's whack and not pull it. Nah, he ain't. I wouldn't be surprised if he's even really calling the shots.
I'm just saying if it's whack or if it doesn't live up to expectation, they already have his replacement in James Gunn and whoever wrote Guardians of the Galaxy.
Movie. He ain't directing all the other ones. So he's done anyway. He gonna make the movie. They already got the dude. He's not doing the next ones.
Hopefully that's the truth, because I don't have no faith.
He's only doing the one movie.
I have no faith in him. I'm just saying. After Into Darkness,
your lack of faith is disturbing, sir.
Whatever, homie.
I'm Star Wars ride or die.
I'm not saying it's not a knock on Star Wars. It's a knock on J.J. Abrams.
Listen, I'm not. He's not dope to me.
Thank you. I'm glad you admit that. Yeah.
I'm not trying to overpump. I'm just saying it's Abrams. It's bigger.
It's bigger. Brown on us.
All right, man. Let's get through this last. Let's get to another list here. So 2007. Okay, March the 3rd, Wolverine movie. Oh. Yeah, we forget about Wolverine. It's Wolverine, March 3rd.
Another solo film?
It's untitled as so far, so it'll probably be a solo movie. Yeah.
I'm there.
May 5th, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. June 23rd, a wild card here, Wonder Woman. Right, very, very well-known character, first time in the theater. July 14th, Fox is giving you the middle finger and Pooh and saying we're dropping Fantastic Four 2 that day.
Yeah, that would never get me. That would not go into pre-production. I'm calling it now. They're gonna be like, look, man, just give it some gum and some leftover Fantastic Four 1984 figures, and we good. You can have it.
That's a franchise where they better be shooting both films at the same time.
Now that I can see.
We get everything out of this.
All right. July 28th, Thor 3, Ruinok, or however you say it. That's a stupid title.
Ragnarok.
Just
think Flintstones, Ragnarok.
I'm going to be at the ticket. Can I get Thor 3?
Man, that's exactly what Charles Barkley was talking about, you know.
November 3rd, Black Panther. Be there opening day. Black fist in the air. All right.
For you, my brother, I'm gonna make sure you get to an advanced screening. You can hold me to that.
November 17th, Justice League Part 1. Okay. Now there's a couple movies here that don't have dates. I didn't even hear about this before. A female Spider-Man spin-off movie.
That's another movie that won't see the light of day. Nope.
And then it says a Carnage Spider-Man spin-off movie.
Wait, when you say a female Spider-Man spinoff, are you talking about Spider-Woman?
It doesn't say. It just says a female Spider-Man spin-off movie.
It's probably Black Cat.
Yeah, they kind of reach with that. And then Carnage. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least 7 announced dates for 2017. So another heavy superhero movie year. 2018 puts us at The Flash, March 23rd. May 4th, Avengers Infinity War Part 1. July 6th, Captain Marvel. July 13th is an untitled Fox mystery Marvel movie.
That sounds so lame.
Must be an X-Men movie, I guess. I don't know. And then July 27th, Aquaman. November 2nd, Inhumans. And then unspecified date, but they're going to drop it in 2018, Spider-Man 3. Amazing Spider-Man 3.
It does sound like a lot, man. It just sounds like they just churning them out now. It's like it used to be an exciting thing. You know what I'm saying? It used to be like an event when you go see a superhero or a comic book film. Now it's just churn. It's a corporate bottom line now.
Man.
It always has been.
Wow.
What's that now?
I said, I think it always has been, but not to us, I guess.
I think maybe, I think out of all those films, maybe 5 of them, I'm just strictly interested in.
Oh, we got more. We ain't done.
No.
2019, Shazam, April 5th.
Oh, God.
May 3rd, Avengers Infinity War Part 2. Get more money from you. And then June 14th, Justice League Part 2. Then lastly, 2020 so far, Cyborg, April 3rd. And then June 19th, Green Lantern.
Those two won't see the light of day either.
So Marvel put their Infinity War Part 2 the same year as Justice League Part 2? Damn.
Yeah.
They just trying to embarrass them. That's what that one is.
You know, I say this. Let me ask you guys this. I mean, statistically, all these movies cannot be successes. Mm-hmm. It would be unheard of, I'd say. But, I mean, what happens if Marvel drops the ball somewhere? Do you think they could be in a position to scale it back, or would they just be forced to go forward with these movies because the story is sort of set in place, even though audiences were like, this is corny. Like, I don't want to see this character.
It's the same thing we just said about Star Wars. A superhero setback movie still gonna make money. Superman Returns made money. Green Lantern, I think even that movie made money. So no, it's not
right. Green Lantern said, you know what? Let's stop for a second, though. This was horrible. It made money,
but they stopped with Superman Returns, but they came back, like you said.
Right, but so that would require a reboot, and that's kind of what I'm asking you. Do you think Marvel would do something like that, even though that their thing's unique because it seems like every movie sort of plays into the next one. There's a grander story here, but what
And
happens?
that's part of the reason they'll never have to stop, because we can say, oh, Thor 2 sucked, but you know what? Whatever movie, Guardians of the Galaxy was dope.
It'd be interesting to see the long term, because this is a very long term plan, which we haven't yet to see happen before. Like this is what 5 years down the road, so audiences may say, yeah, Thor 2 last year or whatever wasn't that good, but this other one was good, and so I'm gonna keep going if the next three are good. But what happens if 2 years in, it's like, God damn, that shit was a flop? You think the audience is gonna? And again, the other part we remember, there's so many movies going to be opening. Is it going to be fatigue maybe on the audience? Like, God, their movie was corny, superhero movie. Spider-Man was kind of corny. It was all right. It was kind of corny though. Maybe I'm gonna just ease back on comics a little bit because these movies are starting to get.
It's not going to happen, Mike. Who's going to say that? Who's saying that?
No, I'm saying think something like that could happen.
No.
Never underestimate taking your kids to a movie. Wrong or right. Never underestimate people having kids and kids wanting to go see things that go boom and tight.
Kids want to go see Man of Steel?
Well,
I think so. They know Superman.
I think so too.
Oh, my son, he wasn't feeling that movie.
But you still paid, didn't you?
He fell asleep on it. I didn't see it.
It don't matter. They got your money. They don't care.
I didn't see it at the theater. I just said I didn't see it at the theater.
Huh?
I'm saying we didn't go to the theater. He didn't want to see that at the theater. But when we saw it, we watched it on TV. He fell asleep. I'm just saying.
Why didn't he want to see it in the theater?
He's not into Superman.
Well, he's not into Superman anyway. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and it's not made for. I mean, it's just like kind of like to me in my argument, Batman. It's not necessarily those movies weren't really made for children to watch. They were made for us. But they didn't play the abilities of a child.
My only point is that I've seen just about every mainstream superhero movie there is, all the good ones and the bad ones. I'm still going, so I don't think they can have a flop and we're still gonna go see them. You'll be there as a T-shirt, right?
I will be there. Of
right.
course.
That's what I'm saying.
It's no different. To me, I don't see this as any different than any other genre movie. And every genre has a point where it falls off a little bit and people stop going to see sci-fi for a while. They stop making sci-fi for a little bit. Of course, I'm going to go see all of them, but again, they're not making 6 or 7. They're making 1 or 2 a year.
Every one of these films has made money, though. That's my point.
I am of the mindset.
So far.
I am of the mindset that just as people realize that not all animated films are Disney films, that not all superhero comic book movies are Marvel films. And they know when they see Marvel, that ain't like the other stuff they've been seeing. They don't think Kick-Ass is from Marvel. They don't think Sin City is from Marvel. They damn sure know Superman and Batman ain't from Marvel. They better. So I think as long as Marvel, they have their script, they have their plot, they have their plan, they're gonna be they're gonna get to 2019 and make a shitload of money.
I hope they do.
Now after that, I don't know what's going on, because they're gonna have to reboot. I mean, you think Iron Man, if Robert Downey Jr. is not coming back, they're gonna have to get out on a break to reboot.
You know what I think they'll do next?
Tell us.
Doctor, he talked about, Kevin Feige talked about Doctor Strange opens them up to other realities.
He said that?
Yeah, he's during the Q&A. Not even during the Q&A, when he first was talking about it on the stage. And he was like,
oh yeah.
I could see them after all of this, or even midway to the getting toward the end of Infinity or something. It opens the door for them to pull out, we'll reboot it, and explain it by Doctor Strange. He can pull heroes from a different, he can pull a different Captain America.
That's too complicated. That is too complicated for the mainstream.
He could say, we're gonna. Steve, who's the guy who's playing Captain America? He don't want to do it no more, or he's too old. It's 6-7 years down the line. We can pull in somebody else to play him and explain it that he's from a different reality. And if that's the whole point he said that Doctor Strange movie is to do, I could see him doing that.
I don't. I
don't see that.
Because they're gonna have to reboot it.
That's as bad as an idea.
Well, that's what a reboot is. They just cast someone new and keep it
Yeah,
moving.
I'm just saying, he made a point to say it's about alternate reality. So he's already telling you, whether you may think it's too complicated. That's the whole point of That's the whole point of the Doctor Strange movie.
That is as bad as DC saying that their cinematic and television universes are multiverses, and they envision a time where they bring these multiverses, being television and film, together. And I'm like, my dudes, no, don't do that. Don't complicate
What he
shit.
said. I'm just telling you that's what he said today. So obviously he said that.
I think you might have read that wrong, or I mean, heard that wrong, or
Go back and
interpreted that
watch it.
wrong.
Go back
I'll
and watch
go back and watch it.
I'm just telling you what he said.
They would be I think you're interpreting that wrong. They would be crazy, absolutely
That was
crazy.
his words, man.
My thing is like, why are people scared to go to James Bond route? Just recast the character and keep it pushing. Recast the actor.
Well, the same reason why, again, they don't want to give up Robert Downey if they don't have to. But at some point, they're going to be forced to because he's going to be too old.
Well, that's why. Too bad Big Sexy isn't here, but see, that's why he's a man in a suit. So the main act, him out of the suit is actually more entertaining than him in the suit, and him being in the suit gives him that crutch. It's a robotic armored suit.
All right. I mean, again, all of them are going to fall into this category. At some point, they're going to have to rechange it. Right.
I just think when it comes to Iron Man, they're just going to do group ensemble films. They're not going to do a solo. That's what I think what they're going to do. It's like, look, you want 50 million? Well, you're part of an ensemble. We can give you 20. But a third of the work.
Any final thoughts from you guys on these movies?
It's a lot. It's unprecedented. See what happens.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I just Q, when we done, you better get that video back up again so we can share that again, because I know DC was just like, God damn, they did what? Man, we ain't got nothing.
All right, man. Did you guys have any other?
Ampu, have you seen John Wick?
I have not seen John Wick.
Damn, what you bullshitting for, man? What you waiting for? Oh, you don't plan to see it?
Hey, on my to-do list. I'm sorry, bro.
Okay.
That's why we got Sean Hill.
What's that now?
I said that's why we got Sean Hill.
You guys still watching Gotham?
No.
What?
Okay. I'm 0 for 2.
No, I saw Gotham last night. Barbara Gordon getting on my nerves.
Is that the blonde? She's blonde.
That's his wife, right? That's Jim's wife, yeah. I mean, girlfriend, with the jealous ex-lesbian lover.
Were they really lovers?
Hey, she said they were in a relationship.
Okay. I don't watch the show. But I'm surprised. I'm hearing that it's doing good.
By those standards, yeah. That's the question I wanted to bring up. Yeah. So they have a 2019 slate, the Avengers. We know that they like to bring in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They're fleshing out the Marvel Cinematic world on the show. Do you think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. makes it to 2019? Because that's 6 seasons, and the ratings are kind of declining. Do you think that show makes it there?
And another good question is, how come Coulson's not in any of these movies? I haven't heard him mentioned in any of these films.
He's not that integral, and plus they have the show.
I think though they have to,
I don't see that. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I think they do. To me, they need to show that Coulson at least cameos in the next movie. To me, I just think like the whole point of the Avengers coming together in the first movie was because of him, and they thought he was dead. At some point, they got to realize this guy is actually alive, and he's actually running the remnants of S.H.I.E.L.D. It would just seem like they would have to sort of show Cap and Tony. You know what? Coulson is alive. Oh, what? Oh, okay. I mean, it just seemed like they have to kind of do that.
Well, actually, that brings up a good point too. They would have to introduce Nick Fury back into it because he's gone into hiding, but you can't leave him hanging out there.
And he's in it.
Well,
is he? Okay.
Showed him. Yeah.
He's in Avengers too.
Yes, they showed him.
All right.
Did you watch
But
it?
My
but my
bad.
thing is, like, does the show? I mean, the only thing I can think of is if Disney or Marvel, they just subsidize that because they like the fact of having weekly reminders that there's this Marvel universe out there. And
Yeah,
the other alternative is they reduce the number of episodes and or just put it on Netflix.
but see, that's the thing. That's what Mike was saying. I still say if the show tanks, they're not gonna just keep it on there to have it on, because that's prime time real estate that they could be getting another show, getting advertising dollars and making money and winning, is subsidizing a show that's not doing anything for them other than keeping up a brand. I don't see them doing
That's
that.
an important thing, though, keeping up a brand that's
It's
very.
not as important as making millions of dollars on advertising revenue.
They're gonna make that again. That's kind of what Ampu said. At some point, Marvel can, you know what? That's not gonna hurt us. The little $2 or $3 million, $5 million. I'll say this, and actually, I guess I'm missing it because we're doing this. But they're obviously showing something right now with Agents of Shield tonight, right? With the Avengers stuff, they're showing a scene during the show. As much movies as they got for the next 6, 7 years, on one hand, they may have an excuse to say, you know what, just let that show play, because all we're gonna do is run specials and commercials.
That's crazy. You got YouTube and all that. You don't need to
Well,
finance the show just for that.
Still, that's still a big audience, still a big sort of plug for them to say that. I'm just hypothetically saying that. I don't know.
It doesn't make sense to run your advertisements on your promos on a show that's not doing that good in the ratings when no one's watching.
I agree with you, but again, it's their channel. They're making so much money, they could probably eat that and it has no bottom line effect to them.
Okay. Anybody see that? I saw a promo for Sharon Carter last night. Did y'all see that?
No, I didn't see.
No, I missed that. That's it. That was my other thing. It's like, where does this Agent Carter play into things? Because it seemed like they have this all mapped out towards this 2019 Infinity War. I'm like, well, what is this Agent of Carter gonna show us?
It seemed a little strange. It seemed out of place.
Which is set in post World War II.
Right.
So I don't know.
We've got a lot of things cooking on TV. Obviously, we're not even talking about the whole TV series they got coming for Netflix and the Defenders movie and all that. So they got a lot of stuff.
Do you think those characters make their way to Civil War and or Infinity War?
It's possible.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Do those Netflix characters make their way to Cap Civil War and Avengers Infinity War?
I could see him in the Avengers possibly.
Yeah, because you need people to die if you read the story. Everyone's got to kill somebody.
You need some red shirts? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I guess it really depends on when they announce. I know. Well, Daredevil's coming up next, or first, I should say.
I think it's May or April.
But then when is the Luke Cage Iron Fist one come in, and when is I think there's another one that they're doing too.
It was supposed to all be debuting in 2015, like in 13-week cycles.
Oh, really? Wow.
So now it's got pushed back to, I think, April or May, so I don't know. And we still haven't heard any casting for the other ones.
True.
Because the big one that most people won't care about is Luke Cage.
I want to see Daredevil too.
Well, I mean, after Daredevil for casting.
And also we forgot to mention, this is crazy. They've announced they're doing a Krypton show. And it has
I wish we had Big Sexy on, because it'd be a whole lot of fucks and bullshit.
Man,
David Gore, the guy who did the Batman movies, is writing this.
He's losing his touch with me. I'm sorry, he's lost it with me.
He lost his touch at Blade Trinity to me. So
well, he redeemed himself with Batman Begins, and I think he was on Dark Knight.
Yeah, Nolan, that's all it did.
Now,
I just know that cash cow was like, please get your hands off my teeth. I'm sore. Really?
When I heard,
give DC credit though for TV, whether I like them or not, they got that shit on a roll, man. They got so many different TV shows right now. It's crazy.
I once thought, it comes on now. I once thought that with Supergirl I wasn't feeling, and when I heard Krypton, I'm like, okay, so that way they could do Supergirl, because Supergirl was the same age as when we see her for the first time on Earth, which is like late teens, early 20s. But then I remember if it's on Krypton, she doesn't have her powers. So
Yeah, it says it takes place before Superman was even born, and his family launched it and everything. So it's just purely on Krypton. I don't know how that's gonna work,
Hey,
but
why not call it? Why not do a show about Kandor? Where don't they have their? I guess they don't have their powers in that bottle either, do they?
So it's like you give us Gotham with no Batman, and then a Superman universe with no powers. Like, what is up?
pretty much.
Nah, we don't powers. We don't need powers. Nah, fuck that.
Cash cow. Well, they had Smallville, Gotham, Krypton.
But you had powers in that. In those. I didn't.
Well, they were out the capes though, so there's no.
I'm
Krypton.
okay
What's that gonna be about? A bunch of scientists walking around? I don't get it.
And it's cold too because the end of the story is the planet blows up.
So we know what's going. Yeah, I was gonna say we know what's going to happen. They're all going to die. So what do we care?
Yeah, well, it's like there's no what do they say, no tension because do we care if this person survives or not, because in the end they all die. Like,
well, I assume that it's gonna the main character will be Jor-El, right? Doesn't that make sense?
I think it might be Kara-El, or is it Kara Zor-El?
Jor-El's the father. Kara is the mother.
Is he?
Well, whoever Supergirl's Kryptonian name is, that chick. Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah. So did y'all watch Walking Dead?
Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Loved it.
I'm back on board with that show now. I was a little shaky last season, but now it's must see TV.
That might be the coldest thing I ever heard was when he said, "Why didn't you kill us?" When he's like, "You didn't want to waste the bullets." I'd have been stuck like yeah, we could have. But the way my ammo is set up, I just couldn't do it.
The only problem I have with the show is they need to. I'm tired of seeing Tyrese being acting all scary and stuff, man.
That ain't Tyrese from the comic book.
He opened that door and was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna close this. Let y'all do you." I like my girl Sasha. She was like, yeah. I love that.
I'm just glad we got the tainted meat part. That was freaking awesome. I thought he was crying, and we found out. I was like, okay, there you go. Bravo, D'Angelo. You did Avon and Stringer well. You didn't go out like no punk. That's right.
I will say this: when he was laying in that bed, that was some shitty acting though. When he's just acting like he was drunk. He sounded like he was just drunk. Yeah, I'm sorry that things ended this way. And I was like, dude, just die. Just die.
But the one thing I'm a little upset is why the hell did Glenn and Maggie bounce? Like
I didn't get that either.
Like, I understand you promised this guy, and it's supposed to be a way to restore the world the way it was, but it's like Eugene is fucking useless.
I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but okay, I'm not even gonna say anything about that.
I read the comic book. I'm just saying.
I mean, a scientist with a mullet. Come on. This fool don't know nothing. But my favorite part of the show, I rewound this about 5 times. When your man Abraham said, when Rick, the way he says it, Rick says, "You ain't taking the bus," and Abraham says, "Try and stop me." I counted the seconds that Rick was letting that marinate, and then Rick with raw dog just started walking towards him. I was like, "Take that motherfucker out."
He was looking like he's like, "This is motherfucking no, I'm the wrong one." He don't know this shit.
That's the way
he don't know I'm the wrong. All right.
That was so nice.
Yeah, that show is really good, man.
Well, at least we get a couple of things.
But now, do you all have a problem with the fact that it seemed like every black man on the show, maybe with the exception for his name Dwayne, the guy who had the son in the first episode of the first season, they're all kind of like lame, aren't they?
See, again, you're get correct. Dwayne was the son. It's Morgan.
Whatever. You know who I meant.
Oh, do they all look alike?
Kinda. Yeah.
But you kind of got a point. They do seem to all sort of be like
Like
not.
even T-Dog, he was a punk too, wasn't he?
Well, nah, T-Dog kept to himself. But he did go out like a punk though.
Maybe they don't
He
want
was
to. They
useless.
don't
He
want
was
to
a
see them being shown no power on TV or something. I don't know.
But that to me again is just the issue because they showed these guys as Tyrese was a very strong black man. He was right there with Rick. I mean, I understand it's a television and you only have so many tropes you can go with, but it's like the portrayal is horrid. I will admit that. Horrid.
Is what? What did you say?
Horrid.
Oh, horrid.
Yeah.
That's not a word you hear black men saying that often. Okay.
Maybe black men but
Sorry,
I think of Little Red Riding Hood when I hear horrid or the little girl with the curl or something. I don't know.
Man, what else? Where are we at? God, we've been on here.
Yeah, it's 11:30 where I am.
Yeah. Man, maybe we should cut this short. Well, it's not short because it's been about an hour and a half. So before we get out of here, fellas.
Wait. We do one thing. We're about 4 days from Prince, and he just dropped that Empty Room rehearsal. Did you get a chance to hear that? Seriously? Wow.
That's my man, but I was
Man, all right.
I will say this: have you heard the was it the Montreux Jazz Festival? I don't know if I'm saying the name right.
Montreux?
Montreux. There's these soundboard. I think it's from last year. Prince played, and 3 of his shows have shown up online. And let me say this: if you can go find those, I want you to go find those shows and listen to those and tell me not. I would argue that the band that he playing with him then is one of his best.
What year was this?
2013. And it was I was so shocked as I'm listening to this, and I'm like, what year is this from? Like, this shit is filthy. I mean, this is that band where he has that big horn section and stuff.
Yeah, I'm surprised you said that because I know how big a fan you are of Leeds and Bliss.
Don't get me wrong, they're killing it before them, but in terms of like his new stuff, I mean, I was literally blown away. I listened to this yesterday. One of the shows starts off with like one of the shows starts with Strays of the World and then goes into Act of God. I mean, he's doing all these different songs, and this shit was filthy, man. Like, I was like, I don't know why he's doing Third Eye Grill. If you got that, it was ridiculous, man. They did Party Up and Days of Wild, but mixed with Shaka Khan and Michael Jackson. It was just, I was amazed, dude.
But then we get 31-21. That's my jam right now.
You got one.
Wow.
Well, bruh, you going to have to send me a link or help a brother get in the right direction to find that.
I will have to do that because it was a monster show. I was actually impressed. Actually, here I'll read you I got one of them sitting right here. Let me just read you the track list, right? Days of the Wild.
Man, they did.
Oh, well. Oh, I'm sorry. Strays of the World, Days of Wild, a song called Big City, Superconductor, 1999, Mutiny Ice Cream Castles, Old Friends for Sale, People Pleaser, Ain't Gonna Miss Nobody, Funk, Dark, and these aren't like snippet songs. These are the songs. Something in the Water, Courting Time, Courting Time for Emancipation, Exception, Get on the Boat, Schoolboy Crush, We're a Winner, I Never Loved a Man, Satisfied, I Don't Want Nobody, Housequake. Yeah, Satisfied, Housequake, okay. The Jam, The Bird, Musicology, which actually I played a little bit of that at the beginning of the Musicology podcast we just put out. Extra Lovable, and then he closed it out with Purple Rain. But It's actually really good, man. Really
Wow.
good performance. Yeah.
Now, and this is a plug. Will any of those be on high heel boots?
It's High Heel Boots is usually the songs, not the concert stuff, but it could be. Could be. Yep, yep.
Which is exclusive where?
Oh, I like how you do that. Exclusive to all access members.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to just fit. I'm
Right.
like, I'm Steve Nash and I'm passing to Kwame Brown. He
Trying
just,
to give you the ball, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, shout out to everyone who is watching us right now. I see a couple of you guys there. We didn't get no questions tonight. What's going on, people?
don't be
'Cause
shy.
we gave them everything they need to know. They don't have any questions. We've supplied them with all the information they need.
I like that. I like that. All right. Well, we got to get out of here, fellas. Before we do, Q Storm, where can they find you?
You can find me at qstorm.com/lightning strikes. You can find me on Facebook as Michael Jones, Twitter at qstorm3476, and on YouTube as the real REEL QStorm. Why are you dugging while I'm giving my shout out? Distracting.
You know, they say we like to dance.
Okay.
And Pooh, where can they find you?
I was about to do my shmoney dance, but I'm like, no, I ain't even got time for all that. And I ain't trying to pick up this goddamn hat. You can see me on Twitter and Instagram at Pooh, as well as just up now, Breaking Kayfabe article column on knockoutnation.com. And I'll have a new column up on Form 1 Mania this Sunday. Take a guess what I'm going to be talking about.
I don't know, some Marvel movies possibly.
All the ways that all the different changes DC is undergoing right now.
Oh Lord.
You're doing that. Now again, I'm only shooting at DC because I want them to improve. I don't have a bias.
All right. Please follow. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to shout out Adrienne Palicki, the woman who was in John Wick. She played the assassin in John Wick, and she did a couple episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah. That should be Wonder Woman right there, man.
That just goes to show you that the wrong director and the wrong creative team. Shout out to the people who put together that horrible pilot for Wonder Woman that was camped for David Kelly. It goes to show you if you don't have the right director and the right creative team, you can screw up something that should be magic.
Was that her in that?
That was her.
Hey, Michael, did you just say Adrienne Palicki should be Wonder Woman?
Yes.
After seeing John Wick, yeah. But I didn't realize that was her in that god awful.
You do know the irony of that statement, right?
What I do now.
She was cast as Wonder Woman in that David E. Kelly.
Right. That was my point.
Oh,
The wrong director and the wrong creative team can screw up something that should work.
Yeah. Well, real quick before we get out of here, then you didn't really go into it, but what did you think of John Wick? I know last time there was some questions on Keanu and couldn't see him.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah, you.
I think it was the best stupid action movie I've ever seen in a long time. Because it was stupid, but it was good. It was good. And you go to see that movie. And what's funny is you go to see that movie because it shows, I don't know where Keanu Reeves has been hiding all of this, but he should have been doing what Liam Neeson's been doing. He should have been doing that 20 years ago. Because he's got the action chops, and he actually can act. There was a scene at the beginning.
He's got the what?
The action chops.
Okay.
What are you trying? What, you calling me out on something? What?
I just remember somebody in the last shows was talking about he does not have action chops and they can't.
I did not say that.
I can see him being in this kind of movie.
I saw the Matrix movies. I knew he could do action. I was just saying, playing the tough guy. I wasn't sure about that, but no, he got it. Look at this dude right here. He did his Archie face, Archie from Riverdale, like him. No, I mean he had some genuine. There's a scene where he's crying at the beginning, and I was like, that seems really genuine. And there's a scene where he's tied to a chair, and he goes Wolverine. It's like he really sounded pissed. So I mean, I don't know why he waited till now. He's 50. Why didn't he do this when he
Keanu
was
is 50?
30? He's 50.
God damn. Wow.
So yeah, he waited too late to show us this.
Well, it's not too late. I mean, he could have a whole nother career doing these types of movies. You know, that's kind of Denzel's doing them, Liam Neeson.
Well, I'm talking about. I mean, as you get older, your body, unless you're Tom Cruise, you know, your body does not do everything you need the script calls for. You know.
Liam Neeson's doing it.
Is that a knock at Tom Cruise not doing his own stunts?
I said, unless you're Tom Cruise, your body won't do what you needed to do. But the
And I'm
script
asking,
calls.
is that a knock at Tom Cruise not doing his own stunts?
Tom Cruise does do his own stunts.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
John Wick was a good movie. You enjoyed it? I'd say that much.
I enjoyed the ending was a little weird, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Nothing more than a good revenge flick.
How'd you like the gun fu?
Wow.
Oh, listen. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take back something I said.
What?
I was trying to don't get too close to the camera. Them soup coolers, you know. Take it. I got some saliva. I got some Ebola on my face right now.
Wow. Well played.
Yeah, that's right.
Well
I'm gonna take something back.
That's all right.
Yeah, there's no technique for that shit. See, usually a gunman will come up to you unless you don't mean shit. He's gonna come up to you and just hold the gun. All right, give me your money, and then you can do your technique. Nah, John Wick wasn't playing. Nah, you're done. You're done. Somebody said he was treating cats like zombies, taking them right to the head.
Was. That's a good analogy because yeah, he was treating it like they were zombies. Like.
I mean, he was using that gun like a set of nunchucks, man.
Yeah, that was some cold stuff, man.
Yeah.
All right. So please follow Podcast Juice on Twitter at Podcast Juice, and also check us out on Facebook. Also, come to the site podcastjuice.net. We've got a number of podcast shows, audio shows that you can listen to. Also, you can find us on iTunes and Twitcher. And if you're an iTunes listener, go on there and leave us a review. The more reviews we get, the higher in the rankings that we get, and the longer we can keep doing this. With that, my name is Michael Dean. On behalf of my brethren, Q Storm and Ampu, a good night. We'll see you next time. Peace.